So Tameka Hargrave basically was cheating on her husband with her mechanic. Now, I'm not 100% sure if this was a romantic relationship they had formed, or if it was a situation where she was cheating to pay for her car repairs. Because when I did a little bit of research, they said that she was sleeping with him and she was getting free car repairs on her vehicle.
Now, the female victim has now been identified by family members as Tameka Hargrave. She was found on the ground lifeless, along with another man who was apparently the mechanic who was working on her car. The incident stunning members of her family who rushed to the scene last night. Tameka's longtime companion made the horrible discovery of the two bodies in a lower garage.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you check us out on Patreon at www.patreon.com/Hookah Anonymous _. You guys been telling us to create one for the longest, so we recently created a community where we will upload videos that we can't share on YouTube due to their guidelines. We'll also be dropping the latest to there first, behind the scenes information that you wouldn't find anywhere else on our socials. So make sure you become a member, and after you do that, head over to our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _ and follow us there. Now, without further ado, let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, today we got an interesting story, and I definitely want your opinions on how you would handle a situation like this if you encountered it and had to learn that someone you was in a relationship with or married to was actually cheating on you. But your partner who was cheating on you is now deceased, and you found out about their cheating ways after they lost their life. Crazy, right? But it gets even worse, because what if you was the one that found your partner deceased along with the person he or she was actually cheating with, where they both passed away while they was in the act of intercourse? Now, a bunch of emotions should start coming to you because your partner is now gone, but you did find out that they were cheating on you and caught them in the process. So, do you feel sad? Do you feel angry? Do you feel resentment? What do you feel in a time like that? Now, this is similar to one of those topics where you're on social media and they ask you, how would you feel if your man or woman went to their ex's funeral? These are all situations where your emotions are confused and you really don't know what to do given the circumstance. And that was the case with 39-year-old Tameka Hargrave. You have different opinions where family and friends are feeling bad that they lost a loved one, but then you have others on social media saying that it was instant karma for her cheating. Now, I understand karma, but sheesh. Losing your life all for the sake of a little fun is a bit insane, but we're going to get into the story of Tameka, who lost her life while cheating on her boyfriend with a mutual car mechanic. I want to know what you guys think about the situation after you hear the details stemming from what happened and how you would react if you was in a situation like this. So before we get into all that, make sure you hit the thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm and spread awareness. And if you're not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it. 39-year-old Tameka Hargrave was a mother of two daughters, one 13 and the other 23, and was also a companion to the man by the name of Carly Johnson, who she was in a relationship with for 13 years. Some articles say that Tameka and Carly was married, and some are saying that they weren't, so it isn't really clear. Tameka attended Essex County College in New Jersey, was only 2 semesters away from getting a degree in sociology prior to her death. In Newark, where Tameka was from, she lived at Pilgrim Baptist Village and was described by people in the community as a mother figure who took care of everybody else's children as if they were her own. This included her giving out snacks to kids after school, after talking to them and seeing how their day was, and she also would make sure kids got home when it started to get dark and they were still outside in the park. Many people in the neighborhood would speak highly of Tameka if you asked them about who she was. However, the reputation she maintained while she was alive would unfortunately pass away with her the same day she did, after finding out how Tameka lost her life on July 9th, 2018. Reports say that Tameka lost her life from carbon monoxide poisoning while having sex in a park garage with the car running. The only problem is that it wasn't with her boyfriend, Carly. It appeared to be with a car mechanic that was working on Tameka's car. Some reports are even alleging that the intercourse was in exchange for the mechanic fixing the car, according to Fox 5 and People magazine's article. Tameka, along with the 56-year-old mechanic, was found deceased in a parking garage in Newark, New Jersey, located at 18th and New Fairview Avenues around 8:45 p.m. The two was found by Tameka's boyfriend after Carly says he got to the apartment complex and smelled a strong odor of gas. An alarm went off and Carly says that's when he decided to try and find the source of the gas smell, because at that point he started to get worried. When he tracked down what he described smelled like car exhaust, he traced it to the garage after it took him a little while. He began opening a few other garage doors before getting to the actual one that had a car running, and that's when he made the shocking discovery.
And as I go to step to try to open the last garage door, I see the mechanic. He's laid out, and she's just a few feet away, and she's laid out. And pretty much I had to call 911 because at this time, with that level of emissions or whatever, I knew they were gone.
Carly would find his wife laid out on the floor unconscious, along with their mechanic. Carly says with the level of emissions that was in the air, he had no other choice besides calling the police, and that's what he did. When law enforcement and medics arrived to the scene, Tameka and the mechanics was pronounced deceased due to carbon monoxide poisoning. Although law enforcement believes that Tameka and the mechanic was engaging in intercourse, Tameka's daughter Shaquaya and her friend December Thomas doesn't agree with the negative portrayal of Tameka. Tameka's daughter also doesn't believe that she was having intercourse and even says that law enforcement told her that the mechanic was found at the hood of the car and it was evidence of work being done on the car as well. She also says that there was no foreplay or misplay and her mother was fully clothed despite other reports. Now that's also the confusing part, because some reports says that the two was found inside the car and others say that the two was found outside the car. However, majority of the reports have said that they believe the duo were actually having sexual intercourse in the vehicle. Aside from that part of it, Tameka's boyfriend also believes that the blame should be placed on the apartment complex, stating that there should have been adequate alarm systems in the garage to alert occupants of the dangerous levels of carbon monoxide. Tameka's mother and daughter will also tell news reporters the same thing.
I just want my mother back. I want her to see me graduate high school. I can't do that. If it's like that, they should have had something to detect that.
Now, for you guys that don't understand the dangers of carbon monoxide in a closed setting such as a garage, first and foremost, carbon monoxide poisoning occurs when carbon monoxide builds up into your blood. When too much carbon monoxide is in the air, the body replaces the oxygen in the red blood cells with carbon monoxide. This could lead to serious tissue damage or even death. Now, what makes carbon monoxide so dangerous is that you wouldn't even know that you're consuming so much until it's too late, because it's a gas that has no odor, no taste, and no color to it. So it's almost impossible to detect it unless you have a carbon monoxide detector alarm, which goes off when more than above normal amounts are in the area. Car engines that aren't properly vented can cause the gas to build up to dangerous levels that aren't meant for consumption, especially in a tightly enclosed area, which makes the buildup even worse. It affects the brain and heart the most, and symptoms can include headache, weakness, dizziness, nausea or vomiting, shortness of breath, confusion, blurred vision, drowsiness, loss of muscle control, and loss of consciousness. So if you are in a very close area for long periods of time and you're consuming this gas unknowingly with no way to detect it, you can easily be affected 10 times more than normal. Which is why if they were found inside of a garage, it's kind of evident why they were so affected and the time they spent in the garage. If y'all remember back in 2022 in Michigan, a 25-year-old mother and her 10-month-old son passed away in the parking garage at a hospital while they waited for her mother to finish a doctor's appointment. Then it was in February of this year when a Texas mom and her 7-year-old were found deceased in their garage with the car running as well, and they both passed away due to carbon monoxide poisoning. So this is a very common problem, and I hope this brings a lot of awareness to it so people could be more on point about it so it don't happen as often as it does. Now, when it comes to the daughters not believing that their mom was doing anything with the mechanic, maybe they're right, but maybe they're wrong. I'm sure no one wants to believe or have the last memory of their loved one, a scandalous memory, where your mother or loved one was caught cheating while they lost their life. Now the real question is, why were they in the garage with the car running instead of being outside? If he's a mechanic, I'm sure he should have known or been more aware of the dangers of the engine and carbon monoxide, period, because he's a mechanic. Most mechanics do, and being in an enclosed area, knowing that the car was kind of old or needed an oil filter, that should have told you right then and there. So why would you even be in the garage enclosed with the car running for long periods of time? Now, I don't know, but almost every article I seen, they did say that they were in there having intercourse, and some have said that it was in exchange for paying for the work that was done by the mechanic. Now, we don't know how true that is, but it was in most of the articles, and we don't know if maybe law enforcement didn't tell her daughters that because they didn't want to be disrespectful about it, and maybe that was something between the boyfriend and the police, right? Maybe it's something they seen before the daughters got there, because the daughters were called by the father, and that's when they rushed over, but by the time they got over there, it was already too late. Alright, now I know the mother did specify that she spoke to Tameka just a few hours before everything happened around 5 p.m. and she told the mother that she was going to get an oil filter for a mechanic to install it in her car. So who knows, right? However, y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. I found this interesting because imagine finding out that your partner was cheating and the reason they passed away is because they was having intercourse and you the one that found them, right? It's kind of crazy. So y'all let me know what you guys think. What would your reaction be and what would you do? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm gonna keep on dropping. And I'm out.